Hey, good afternoon, guys, and welcome to today's session. Hope that you guys are all doing well and staying safe and enjoying that day off that we had. Hope that you guys got some rest and staying warm. The first thing that I'm going to do for today is that I'm going to take attendance, okay, which is going to be required from now on. And attendance log will be submitted, and based upon that, your grade will be affected. So please make sure that you participate. And hey, Ahmed, how are you, honey? Okay, so make sure that you guys are attending, not only attending but participating. So I'm going to start off by just taking a quick attendance. And when you hear your name, I just need you to please say here so that I can hear that you're actually attending. Okay, and that requires you to also participate with me. All right, so Abdurrahman.
Here.
Thank you. Ahmed. Matar.
Yes, here.
Ahmed Dahrouk.
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Thank you. Daniel. Okay, Daniel's in the waiting room. All right. Gamal. Gamal. Gamal.
I think his mic is not working.
Okay, Gamal, you have to make sure that I hear you, or you have to make anything chat in the chat, write your and type your name. You're not just logging in and that's it. All right, you need to make sure that you're active. Okay, again, if you log in and your name is on the list and you're dead the entire session, then that's not active participation in the classroom. Okay, just because your name is logged in doesn't mean that I can count you as if you're here. Okay, Gamal? So again, if you're here, either type your name in the chat or get a microphone and make sure that you're actively participating in the class. Hamid. Okay. Karim.
Yes.
Kiki.
Yes, here.
Muhammad Ayman. Abu Farh,
Yes.
please. Good.
Yes.
Omar. Omar? No? Okay. Alrighty, Omar is not here. Peter?
Yes.
Masheli?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Yusuf, you're good. Basant? Pussy?
Here.
Good. Farah?
Here.
Hania?
Here.
Hania?
Here, miss, can you not hear me? I'm here.
Yes, I hear you. Thank you. Jana?
Okay.
Subh? Jana Subh? Okay. Not here. Absent. And Luji?
Here.
Mariam?
Yes, I'm here.
Maya?
Here.
Minna?
Here.
Marna?
Here.
Nada?
I'm here.
Thank you. Salma?
Miss Yasmin, you didn't say my name.
I saw you, baby. You were in the waiting room. I let you in. Thanks, Daniel.
Okay.
All right. Summer?
Yes, miss.
Thank you. Shahd? Ibrahim?
Here.
Shahd Tamim? Okay, Shahd Tamim is absent. And finally, last but not least, Yakuta?
Here.
Thank you. All right, so for my absences today, Omar, Zaini, Jana Sobh, and Shahd Tamim. Okay, please let them know that they are going to be marked. The school implemented a system where we go and we put down attendance and attendees. So they're going to be marked absent with deduction points. This is how it's happening for the rest of the term and from now on. So please keep that in mind, okay? And make sure that your attendance is crucial. Yes.
So that means that previous attendance wasn't counted?
It was, baby, it was, but now it's a more serious. We always kept the log in our books, but now it's actually implemented through a system, an online system where we're inputting this. So you know, it's going to be you know, it's reinforced highly. Okay,
Okay.
so that's why I'm just recommending that you guys stay on track. Okay. For Sunday, I apologize for not being able to make it to the meeting. Excuse me.
What about late attendees? Attendees.
If there's always there's always exceptions, Peter. Like if you have a problem with your internet, I can personally have a problem with my internet. Anyone can have it. So we're it's there's high tolerance. Okay, we're gonna tolerate any incidents or situations that may hinder you from attending the session on time. As long as you have a legitimate excuse, it's no problem. Okay,
Okay.
that's not an issue. As long as it's not repetitive and it's realistic. Okay.
Okay.
That being said and done, Sunday, I do apologize about this. It was supposed to be a review, just a overall review, but I couldn't attend. Tuesday was off, so these topics right here, I'm going to leave them behind. Starting today, I'm officially starting term 3. Okay, I know that term 3 starts January 31st, but curriculum wise, we're going to start it today with chapter 7, which is lesson 1. So, lesson 3 for chapter 6 regarding the prices and the price ceilings and floors, we're not going to cover them. We're going to skip over this topic. You do not have to be held responsible for it, and you do not need to know it or do the following assignment related to it. So today we're going to start by chapter 7, lesson 1, and today is going to be officially our so term 3 will start with chapter 7. Just remember that, okay? When we go into term 3, remember, keep note that term 3 started with chapter 7, and this is going to be your first assignment for term 3 that is going to be due the next time we meet on January 24th, okay? Starting this, I'm going to mark our term 3 calendar, okay, starting this chapter.
Can
This
you put the Tuesday assignment?
I'm
Because
gonna
I
go
think
over the assignment. But let me explain the lesson so that when you hear the assignment, you would understand what to do. Okay, without the lesson, the assignment would sound gibberish. Okay.
okay.
Jana Subh, you came in late. Are you here, Jana Subh? Guys, remember?
Yes.
Okay, you came to the meeting late. I'm going to
I'm sorry.
that's okay, but I'm going to remove you from the absentees list. Okay, so far my absentees are Omar and Shahid.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this chapter, which is chapter 5, chapter 7. The title of this chapter is competition. All right, and the market structure. All right, and we have described or discussed before that we have a market structure, such as how the market or how the economy is driven. Okay. Here we're going to discuss competition. We discussed prices. We've now learned about demand. We've learned about supply. What affects demand? What affects prices? Okay, how are prices set? What is a shortage? What is a surplus? And what is the equilibrium price and what it means? All these things are you guys are now good with it. All right, now we're gonna go into the next chapter, which is chapter 7, and chapter 7 focuses on competition and market structures. Okay, there are different types of competitions. All right, that we're gonna discuss, and each type of competition differs according to the market structure or what kind of market are we in. And we know that the market is the place where the buyer and the seller meet. Okay, just in case you guys forgot what the market is. All right, so according to every type of market, comes along a certain kind of competition. And when buyers meet, when sellers meet in this type of market or in this competition, they compete differently. Okay, and they do things differently in order to make themselves appear more or attract more buyers. Okay, so today we're going to focus on two types or actually I might only focus on one type, which is the monopolistic competition. But before we get into monopolistic competition, let's just get a brief understanding, or let's just go into understanding what is the market structure. Okay, so when we discuss market structure, it's actually a term used to describe the nature and the degree of competition between businesses and firms in the same industry. Okay, so if I am selling computers and Peter is selling fruits, we are not in the same market. Okay, so competition between us will not be legitimate, right? Because again, we are not selling the same product or service. Okay, so in the same industry, we could think of Uber and Karim, for example. Okay, because they're offering the same service of car rides and so on. All right, so this would be these two industries would of course face competition because again, the key word here, competition is driven or appears between businesses that offer or are in the same industry. Okay, and keyword here is same. Okay, the first type of competition that they mention is a pure competition, and we need to first of all know and anything pure or anything perfect do not exist. Okay, why do you think that anything from a pure competition to perfect competition, why wouldn't it exist, or why would we call it theoretical or imaginary? Why would we say that? Can anyone guess why in today's world or in society in general, why wouldn't we have a something pure or a perfect competition or a pure competition? Why? Okay, Myrna, please.
I think because we cannot match all the standards of this pure competition, or we cannot really synchronize the market in a way that allows for a pure competition.
Thank you. That is a perfect answer. Exactly, because just like you just heard Myrna, perfect and pure competitions are far too perfect. Okay, exactly what they say. Okay, the criteria and the conditions that make a pure competition or a perfect competition are far too uh, 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 um, um, they're far too perfect that we as a society now or a market nowadays cannot match up to them. Okay, so and this is why we call them theoretical or imaginary. All right, the conditions are listed here. The conditions that make a pure competition are listed in ABC. Okay, the first thing about a pure competition is that you would have a very large number of buyers and sellers, that each firm by itself is too small to influence the market price. This would be very beneficial for the buyer. Like we said, imagine that we have so many sellers of burgers or shoes or any product that one firm cannot really influence or make an effect on price. Okay, because that would weaken the position of the seller. Because again, I'm not the only one in the market selling this product. There's tons and tons of other sellers that are willing to offer the same products. So it makes my position weak and it gives an advantage to the buyer, that no one, not a seller, can really tweak or rise prices against the will of the buyer. Okay, so this is the first condition of a pure competition. There are so many or a large number of buyers and sellers that one firm or one business alone is too small or too weak to influence the market price. Okay, the second, the product is identical. Okay, no brand names. This is what makes something pure competition. All right, I sell, and pay attention, there's a difference between similar and identical. All right, similar means they're the same, but we might have a few differences. Okay, but when I say identical products, that means there's no differentiation, and Be aware of this word differentiation because you guys will see it again throughout the chapter. Okay, so when the products are identical, there is no need for brand names. Okay, there is no difference in quality. There's no difference in looks. So there's no need to even brand it, okay, or give it a name because we're just all selling identical products, and this is definitely not how today's markets are driven. All right, one seller's product is as good as the other. Okay, so if there's no brand names, there's no need to advertise, which keeps the prices low. Okay, because remember, advertising is what? What is advertising to a seller? If I'm going to advertise my product, what is advertising? Is it a what do we call it when it's an expense for the seller? What is that called? Myrna?
Production cost.
It's a cost of production. Bravo, Myrna. Amazing. Okay. So perfect job. It is a cost of production. So again, from the conditions that we are seeing right now, do you think that this is possible in today's marketplace? Of course not, because now we see that everything does have a brand. Okay, even chocolate, water, shoes, everything has its own name, and every single product that we get or every single seller tries to differentiate their product to make it stand out or different than the other in order to attract more people. And of course, advertising is now a huge aspect of today's marketing world, where we see billboards and commercials and so on. All right, so this is why pure competition does not exist, because these conditions are very difficult to maintain. Okay, the third one, buyers and sellers are free to enter or exit the business, and producers have to keep their prices competitive so that new firms do not take away their business. Okay, so here we have a freedom of entrance and exit. This exists in today's society to a certain extent. However, here again, we see that producers are usually forced to keep their prices low. So these are my criteria or my conditions for a pure competition. Okay, we need to remember them. The same three conditions from slide one or from pure competition are they follow with us to perfect competition. However, for perfect competition, we're going to add two more conditions, which are that buyers and sellers are all aware and have perfect knowledge of the market. And number five is that there is perfect mobility of resources. That means that your resources are movable and exchangeable. All right. Now today we need to remember that perfect competition is too perfect to exist in today's world, so it's also theoretical. All right. So the first two competitions that we discussed are pure and perfect. They're exactly the same, except that for perfect competition there are five conditions. We added two more conditions, which is number 4 and 5, which is mobility and buyer and seller knowledge of the conditions of the market. Okay, the buyer and the seller are both aware of the conditions of the market. That's what makes perfect competition different than pure. However, when we discuss them, we understand that both of them are unrealistic. They do not exist. They are theoretical and imaginary because, again, like Myrna told us, their conditions are far too realistic and perfect that in today's world they do not exist. Okay, so the first type of the first type of actual competition that we see every day is the first one that we're going to study, and which is the one that actually can exist, is the number one monopolistic competition. Okay, so the first type of competition that we're going to take today that can actually exist is monopolistic competition. All right, what is monopolistic competition, or how is it? How does it exist? Okay, monopolistic competition exists when you have a very large number of buyers and sellers, and each firm by itself is too small to influence the market price. Okay, we have too many sellers in the market. Again, one firm on its own cannot influence the market. Buyers and sellers are actually free to enter or exit the business, but producers have to keep their prices competitive. Okay, so that firms or new companies or new businesses do not take their customers away. The products in a monopolistic competition are similar. Okay, they're not identical, however, they are similar. Okay, we can see similar sneakers or similar shoes. However, what makes them different is different brands. Okay, you can buy Nike sneakers and you can buy Adidas sneakers. You can find them similar. Okay, they look alike, but with a few differences or a slight differences, especially in cosmetics. Ladies, you would know lipstick or foundation or whatever it is that we use. They're basically similar products. However, some of them are different, and this differentiation comes in who adds it. The seller adds these. The business or the firm adds these little tweaks or little differences to make their product stand out. Okay, and we'll discuss that in a second. Okay, the monopolistic part. Remember, this is called monopolistic competition. So we see monopolistic and we see a monopolistic aspect and we see a competitive aspect from the name. What is the monopolistic aspect in this? The seller here has to place effort, okay, to convince the customer that their product is different or is unique enough to be worthy of a higher price. Okay, so if Abu Farh goes to the mall and he wants to buy a shirt, okay, and he has two options. Okay, he can go to Zara to buy a shirt, and he can also go to H&M to buy a shirt. Okay, so both of them are different brands. Okay, they're different businesses or firms provided. They could be very similar shirts. Okay, in color and design and texture and everything. Okay, but one of them is slightly higher in price. Okay, usually we'll see that maybe Zara's price will be a little bit higher than the H&M shirt. Zara over here had to work, okay, in or add something or make their product somewhat unique, okay, enough, okay, to be worthy of that higher price. If they're adding maybe another 200 pounds onto the price of the shirt, uh, they have to do that in a way that is going to convince Abu Farh that, you know what, these 200 pounds extra are actually worth it. It's okay to spend them and get the Zara shirt rather than save them and buy the H&M shirt. So here, the seller or the firm has to actually work and be very innovative and find techniques and ways to how to convince the on how to convince that seller, okay, the consumers or the buyers, that their product is worthy of that higher price, even though the products are quite similar. Okay, the competitive aspect is Zara also doesn't want to do a little boo boo, right? Or that mistake where they raise their prices too high that Abu Farh will say, you know what, forget it. I don't care if their shirt is somewhat better in so and so. Abu Farh can ignore all these differences or these minor differences and just go and get that H&M shirt. So Zara has to find um, that middle ground, all right, or of how much really to increase their price in a very convincing way that doesn't shun or make the customer ignore these differences and just much rather go to a different brand. Okay, so this is what monopolistic competition you're dealing with. You're dealing with similar products. They're not identical, but they're somewhat similar. Examples are clothing and cosmetics, gourmet food, shoes. All these things are similar. Okay, we can find similar products in different brands, but here the firm is responsible for the monopolistic competition. And remember, monopolistic means I need to convince the consumer that even though you're going to pay a slightly higher price, but hey, my product is worthy of that little slight difference that you're going to pay. All right, it's going to be worth it. Go ahead, pay it. At the same time, the firm has to be have a competitive edge, not to raise the prices too high, so that the consumer does not really ignore these differences and much rather pay less at a different brand. Okay, so this is the firm's responsibility for delivering that product to you in such a way. Okay, here again, any questions about what makes a monopolistic competition? Okay, remember we have many numbers of sellers, which we do. think about how many clothing brands do we have in this world. They are endless, okay, and they keep appearing more and more. All right. How many buyers we have in today's market? Plenty. All right. So this is actually true. It happens. All right. It happens and it is true. Okay. Now each firm, again, because there's so many of them, it makes the firm doesn't have that capability to influence the market price. Okay. Not one firm could do it on its own. All right. Again, monopolistic versus competitive aspects. We discussed that, and we'll move on to this example. All right. I've used cosmetics. Okay, and you guys, it's a good chance to look. All right. I did some googling, and these are two different brands of makeup. All right. What do we see, Anada, in front of us? Can you explain? Nada, are you here?
Yes, I was struggling to unmute.
Oh, okay. All right. You have successfully unmuted yourself. So can you please tell us what product do you see in front of us, and how can this product be a good example of a product that exists in a monopolistic competition?
Both products are of similar ingredients, but because there are two brands, they are competing with each other.
Okay. So we have a similar product. Or is it an identical product, Ahmed Dahroug? Do we, Ahmed Dahroug, in front of you, do you think that these products are similar or identical?
One second.
Yeah, they're similar, right?
No.
They're
Yes,
definitely
yes,
not identical. They're different. All right.
yes.
What about the price, Daniel? What do you think?
Different.
Right. Elaborate. Explain.
Like the Kylie Jenner one, it is $100,
Right.
and the MAC lipstick is $40.
Right. Who has to do what? What does Kylie have to do now? What does Kylie have to do in order to grab the attention of the customer?
Low
Mariam,
advertisement.
She will have to lower the price of the kit itself.
does she?
Kylie will have to lower the price
Does
in
Kylie
order
have
to
to lower
grab
the
more.
price?
No, no.
Okay. Someone explain. Yauta.
As long she should show people why her product is especially unique so they can afford or they can pay such price.
Exactly. That's right. So here Kylie is in the market, okay? She's in the market, and she's in a monopolistic competitive market. And like you guys see, I've only pulled out another brand, which is MAC, which is only a $40 lipstick, versus Kylie. She had her lipstick. It's different. Okay, we said they're similar products, but they're actually not identical. And like Yakuta said, Kylie is going to have to, in a monopolistic competition, number one, convince the consumer that her lipstick is indeed worth it. Worth it. They're going to be paying about $60 more. Okay, $60 more. If they're going to compare it to MAC only, they're going to be paying a $60 difference. So Kylie really has to go out of her way and convince the consumer that it's actually worth it. That these $60 are going in the right direction, and to do it. And when Kylie priced her lipstick at $100, she sure did some, or her business team probably did some studying, to make sure not that they didn't price it overly or overpriced it to the point that they would disregard her differences, or these minor differences that she made. What are some differences that you think Kylie could implement in her product to make it stand out or to make it worthy? How is it different than this MAC lipstick? Peter, that should be interesting. Peter?
Maybe it stays for a longer time or has a better shade.
Okay, Peter, thank you. That's absolutely true. All right. Peter said it could have a better shade. Okay, a better shade of red. Or even better, maybe Kylie's lipstick could stay on longer. All right. What else? What else, Luigi?
Same as Peter, and the design maybe is
The
different.
design, definitely, definitely. Remember, guys, the packaging does make a difference. Okay, packaging alone can attract a customer more than a very bland, uh, 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 um, prosaic design like Max. Nothing interesting about this Mac design. All right, but if you look at the Kylie one, I think it's more intriguing. Okay,
No, nothing interesting too. يعني.
say that again.
It's not interesting either. Both are okay.
Abul Farah, you just don't like makeup.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about Myrna?
I think what's different here is the lip liner that is added to the kit, so maybe that will intrigue customers into buying.
Definitely, definitely good. I'm glad you noticed this. Okay, and we're
Nice
gonna
point.
discuss that. And nice point. That's true. And what do we call these when you what you? There's a term that's usually used when they they give something on top. What is it called? When they offer you something extra over on Nada. Give giveaway giveaway, it's a giveaway. Okay, so again, Kylie could also differentiate her product by a giveaway, and we're going to discuss that too. All right, so the packaging, you guys mentioned the packaging, you've mentioned that maybe it could stay on longer, also the way that it's applied. All right, some people prefer this one is a liquid lipstick versus a stick lipstick, which is more breakable. All right. How many of you ladies had a lipstick break in your purse, Maya? Mm. Maya, do you have something to add?
Yes, I think that Kylie marketed her lipstick much better than the MAC one.
Definitely.
That's why.
And remember, the more you market your product and the more input you put or the more money you spend on marketing a certain product or in a different packaging or adding more giveaways and so on, it does what does it do to the price of your product? It reflects on the price by increasing it, okay? Because like Marna said, advertising and marketing is a cost of production. Okay, Minna.
I think because Kylie Jenner first started by setting this price, as this price make her get the most profit, and this supply and demand will still go together. But for the MAC lipstick, it's more ancient. So at this time of establishing it, the price range at this point of time was great, but at the time pass, they can just make it the same as Kylie because sellers and buyers won't buy it anymore.
But prices that they can invent it and make sure that their product is up to date. Like you described the Mac as ancient, but they could also bring it up to that level, right? And we see Mac doing that. All right, they don't stay in the same old ways. They enhance their product to fit the needs and the demand of today's society. All right, which is also a good point, Imana. Thank you. Okay, so here again, Kylie has successfully. We see that we have a brand. Okay, definitely, this is what monopolistic competition stands for: branding. Okay, each firm is fighting to keep their brand on top. Okay, Kylie had to convince the customer that her product is safer. Eat and drink all you want. That lipstick is not going to go away. All right, it's trustworthy, or even more popular. All right, Kylie herself, isn't she a popular artist? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right. All right. So she herself is an icon that can help market her own products, right? So Kylie's product could be even more popular because she herself is more popular. Like you've mentioned, everlasting lipstick, no smearing, liquid versus stick, the way that it's applied, and the packaging. All these are things that you guys touched base on, and this is what monopolistic competition does. All right. Each firm has its own brand. Each firm is trying to convince the customer that their product is better, more reliable, more trustworthy, safer, more popular, okay, through their own means and their own techniques, okay? And popularity does have its way. And I gave you some examples of how lipstick could actually be marketed in a monopolistic competitive way. Okay, monopolistic competition. How do they compete? Very important to understand that when they compete through the idea of product differentiation, and this is the word that I told you that we'll see again. All right, so if if I am a firm in a monopolistic competition, I'm going to compete in a way of product differentiation. What does that mean? I want to make sure that the customer is able to perceive the differences or able to notice the differences between my product and the other products in the same industry. Okay, just by looking at Kylie's lipstick, we were able to notice uh, many differences. Okay, Myrna noticed that there was a giveaway of a lip liner that goes with your lipstick. Okay, Peter was able to notice that the shade of this red is maybe a little bit better than the shade of this red. All right, we also noticed that applying it could be easier, it's unbreakable, all right, versus the stick. Okay, so maybe it could last longer. So all these are things that we are able to perceive and quickly catch on to, that make us recognize that this product, Kylie's lipstick, is definitely different than the other products in the industry. Okay, the other similar products in the industry. This awareness is fulfilled through non-prime competition. And remember, non-prime competition means advertising, giveaways, and promotions. All right. So again, how can I achieve product differentiation? By making, what is product differentiation? By making my customer aware of the differences between my product and the other products in the market. Okay, once Mariam sees that lipstick on that shelf, she's able to be like, she's gonna go because number one, the packaging grabbed her attention. So you want your packaging to stand out. As soon as Mariam tries on, Sephora, you could try on. All right, let's say that you tried on that lipstick and you said, "Wow, okay." There, the feel of it, it makes your lips softer. It stays on longer. Whatever it is, okay, Mariam is able to perceive the difference, so she doesn't mind paying those extra $60 because she's getting a better product, and this is what Kylie wants the customer to do. All right, and this awareness is given through advertising, giveaways, and promotions. Giveaways, like Mirna noticed, people love the idea of getting something for nothing. Okay, so again, you can buy this Crest Pro Health toothpaste, and with it you will get a dental floss and a toothbrush. These are examples of giveaways. So even if I'm not really into Crest, but you know what, I'm gonna go buy Crest instead of Sensodyne or whatever, but just because I want these giveaways. All right, so giveaways is what type of what type? It's a non-prime. It's called non-prime competition. Non-prime competition means that you're not really doing anything to affect the price. It's a competition based on the product's appearance, the quality, or the design rather than its price. Okay, so sorry guys, it's supposed to say non-price competition. I put prime competition. All right, advertising again, it's an expense, so make sure that to know that it raises the price of the product. And we're gonna stop here, and please read your assignment. If you cannot understand it, I will answer to you guys individually, because we have less than a minute. Your homework, by the way, is based on monopolistic competition. So please understand your assignment. If you have any questions, please refer back to me in the chat, and I'll explain it to you in a voice note. Okay? Okay,
Okay.
guys? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Take care.
Right. See you.
See you. Bye.